So you think it's just scoop and go? Think again. We scoop hundreds of yards a week, all with their own risks. Today I want to talk about scooper safety and how to respond like a pro. For those that don't know, my name is Justin. I own Department of Duty. We are a pooper scooper business in the DFW area. We do over 7 figures a year and we scoop over 1,000 yards a week. And we've been in business for a little over 7 years now. So first and foremost, let's talk about loose dogs, right? What do you do if a dog is in the yard unexpectedly? You've never met this dog before. You come around the corner and you see the dog, and it's a big dog. You have no idea if this dog is friendly or not. You just close the gate behind you and you are in his territory. For this example, the way I train my techs and the way that I did it, when you see this, and let's say the scenario, the dog hasn't seen you yet, but you saw him or her. What we do is, you do not whistle. You do not try to get the dog's attention to see if the dog is friendly while you are in his yard, right? Would you do that if you walked into a lion's den and they haven't seen you yet? No. We train our techs. Hold your breath, get very quiet, and walk backwards. Back out of that yard. Don't turn around and walk towards the gate because he might creep up behind you. You might come check out what's going on. Now you got a dog behind you, right? I literally just backpedal, creep all the way out of that yard. What you want to do is you want to open the gate as quietly as you can. Lift up on the handle, push it forward. Act like you're sneaking out of your house when you're a teenager, right? Open it very slowly. Once you're out of the yard, shut the gate hard, right? Make it make some noise and go, hey doggy, woohoo! Get his attention, right? Make him come to the gate. So now you have a barrier between you and that dog, and you can see if it's friendly or not, right? The next step that we do, say the dog comes up and you're like, crap. Dog's not barking, it's not growling, tail's not wagging. It's just standing there curious, wondering what's going on, right? Those can be the friendliest dogs. Those can also be the scariest dogs, right? They're silent, they're tough, they're brave. They don't need to bark. They're just waiting for you to make your next move. So don't put your hand over the fence. Don't put your hand in the fence. Don't let the dog smell you. What we do is we open the gate a little bit. Make sure, what I'll do is put my rake and my bucket in one hand, and that is between me and the gate. The little crack that I'm opening, that's there first, right? So let the dog see me. Let it see the tools. Open the gate and say, hey buddy, are you friendly or are you gonna kill me? And then see how it reacts, right? It's still like you're not really sure. I'll pull out a milk bone. Hey, you want a treat? They start wagging their tail. They come up, they accept it, they run off. Perfect. Go in the yard, shut the gate, clean it. You got a new best friend, right? You got the dog that he, all of a sudden when you go to give him the dog treat, he changes like that, right? You know, they get crazy, they jump at your hand, they go for your hand instead of the milk bone. Jump out, slam the gate. You might drop the bone, who cares, and go, holy crap, that was close, right? Or third scenario, you get the dogs that they'll just kind of cower down and they'll look at it like they want it, but they're not sure about you. Or they might start barking, right? They start barking, running around like, what the heck are you doing? Why are you in my yard? You know, they're just scared. I'll scoop yards with those dogs as well, right? They might run around the whole time in circles, barking, freaking out, doing crazy things. They might take the bone and run off with it. And some of them will even chew the bone and they'll choke on it while they're barking at you. I'll scoop the yard with those dogs as well, right? But if they lunge at the milk bone, they lunge at me, if they get angry, if they're foaming at the mouth, growling, showing their teeth, things like that. A lot of times I've even learned, people talk about the tail. I've had very dangerous dogs wagging their tail. It's like they're happy that they're going to attack me and protect their yard. So I don't watch for that. I look for hair standing up on the back of the neck. If they're showing their teeth, if I give them a treat, if I throw the treat, are they gonna go get it? Or are they just gonna pound the ground and stay on me, right? So we train our guys that, you know, that's how you do it. Let's go to the second scenario, right? Okay, so we just talked about you come around the corner, you see the dog, it doesn't see you, you get out. We train our guys on how to do that, right? Next step, you turn around the corner and the dog's waiting for you. He heard you come in. He thought he heard you come in, but he's aware something's going on in his yard. You pop around the corner, he loses his beep, and he comes after you, right? There's 2 or 3 of them. There's a pack of them. They come running, they're barking, they're freaking out. You don't know if it's excited barking or angry barking, right? First of all, you're not going to immediately hit the dog because it could just be super excited and that's how he shows it. And you're not going to run, right? If it is an aggressive dog, even if it's not, you could turn it into an aggressive dog because dogs like to chase things. Squirrels, mice, rabbits, all those kind of things. You run from them, you could turn into prey in their eyes, and now they're gonna bite you when they might not have, or they might have, but there's a good chance that you can't outrun them, and then you might not even be able to jump that fence before they grab a hold of you. So we don't run. And the other thing you don't do is, like a soldier never drops his weapon, you do not drop your rake and your bucket, right? Your job is to get your back up against something. If you're near a corner, perfect. Get in the corner, you're protected from both sides. And now your bucket and your rake are your defense tools, right? I say your bucket is your shield, your rake is your sword. You're not gonna hit the dog, you're not gonna attack the dog, unless you're fighting for your life. Typically, you're using your rake to hold the dog back. If you got a 3 or 4 foot rake, that rake is there to hold them at distance, right? I've had dogs where my bucket is enough to hold them back. They're biting the bucket, they're hitting it. I'm doing this, keep them away from it. If you're not in a corner, back up to the house, back up to the side of the fence. Just get your back with something behind you where they can't get around you. Dogs can get behind you very quickly, and you want to make sure that they don't do that while you figure out what's about to happen next, right? I've been surrounded by 3 dogs barking, one of their hair standing up, one of them is attacking the other dog because it thinks it's trying to attack me. It's a mess. I get my back to the fence and I have those 2 things out like this, and I'm assessing the situation, right? If they are going to attack me, but they're waiting for a good chance, then I'm moving down the fence line towards the gate. When I get to that fence, I'm opening the gate behind my back, right? I'm holding both my tools, I'm doing whatever I can. You might have one in your armpit, but that gate's being opened behind my back, and I'm slithering out like a little snake, right? Worst case scenario, one thing I've done, I can't speak on pulling your phone out, but I wear AirPods a lot. And so I'm like, hey, S word, I don't want to say it or else she'll turn on. And I tell her to call so-and-so. I have my clients saved in my phone, that works. If you're a technician, call the office. Make sure you save the office phone number in your phone as office. Say call the office, because now the office will call the client for you and figure out how to get you out of there. Hopefully someone's home, they can come get them, right? But if not, you got to get out of that yard and just keep your back up against something. Another situation is and these can all be avoided. Both of those scenarios can be avoided. One thing we train our technicians is every time you go up to the gate, rattle the gate handle, right? Hit it a couple times, say, hey doggy, whistle, go woo, woo, woo. Do something obnoxious, make some noise. That way you know if they're in there, they're gonna come running. If they don't come running, we go back, and then we'll figure out the other situations if we have to. But the part that is unavoidable for you, right? You've sent an on the way text. It shows green and sweeping you know that it was delivered. Clients aren't always going to respond. That's not something that we waste time on, right? So the text went out, you've rattled the gate, you've yelled, you've done all the things, and no dog comes out. So you head on back, you're doing your thing, you're scooping the yard, right? You might make a little bit of noise because your rake's hitting your bucket, and you're just doing your thing. All of a sudden, this has happened. It's either your text message went to the wife, she's not home, and her husband's home from work that day, right? Or the kids miss school and they're at home, right? I've even had it happen where the person the text message goes to, they'll text me back, hey, you're safe to go back, everything's good. They don't let me know that their son is home sick today, and he doesn't see his phone that his mom told him that we're there. All she's like, I texted him. I found all this out afterwards. And so he doesn't know you're there, right? So you make a little bit of noise, the dog knows you're there, and a lot of times they'll just come sniffing at the back door. They think they need to go potty. They don't know you're there. They let the dog out. So that can go one of 2 ways. It's gonna go back to the first thing I was talking about, but either they're gonna come out and they're gonna be super excited, they're gonna come out, they're gonna be barking because they're scared and then they're friendly, or they're gonna come out and they want to fight. Sometimes what I've learned is Dogs will be more aggressive also if their human comes outside to see what's going on. So the way you can handle those situations, of course, is you want to yell immediately. Hey, Scooper back here. I'm cleaning your yard. Ha ha ha. Try to let them know in some way that they don't need to be doing what they're doing. If the dog gets out, if they're friendly, great. All you gotta do is slow down your heart rate and make friends with the dog. If it comes out, it's semi-aggressive, it's barking like crazy, I usually just tell them, hey, it's fine. They're just doing their job. We're good. They're gonna bark at me, but I'm used to it. It's all good. You just want them to go back inside. I don't care if they get the dog or not. Just go back inside because the dog is more aggressive if it's protecting its human. The other scenario is the dog comes out and super aggressive, right? Those are harder. Those are like a case-by-case basis, right? Go back to what I said a minute ago. Get your back against the wall, get into a corner, get somewhere where you can to start protecting yourself, right? Let them come get the dog. Do not run. Do not drop your tools. Throw out a milk bone if you can. Let them come out and get their dog. Sometimes I've had it where they open the door and they shut the door and the dog comes out all aggressive. You're literally you need to yell as much as you can, try to get them to come back out there, or we're back to my last thing. You're just working on keep the dog back, shield and sword, and get out of the yard as fast as you can. The best thing is to emphasize your safety. I know some scoopers, they have those the wet floor signs. They'll custom make those with their company colors. They'll put a little sign that says scooper in yard. As soon as they walk back, they don't even scoop any of the yard yet, right? They walk back, they set up that sign right in front of the back door, and then they'll start their job. That's a good deterrent. I don't like carrying extra things. I don't like doing all of that. I've been in business for 7 years. We've done over 200,000 yards. I've only been bit once. None of my guys have ever been bit. And we've had maybe a dozen scary situations, right? So it's not gonna happen a lot. Once a dog is aggressive, with Sweep and Go, you can mark it as an aggressive dog. It's gonna show a little red triangle with an exclamation mark. Those are the ones we train our technicians on. If they see that, you have to get a response from the client before going into the yard. And you also need to tell your client that. All of our clients know that you're gonna get an on-the-way text. When the technician shows up, he's gonna send you a text message from his phone that says, hey, I'm here, am I safe to go back? If you do not respond to that text message, whether the dog is inside or not, because you gotta tell them, it's not about the dog being outside, it's about the dog being let out accidentally after I'm back there, right? So you let them know, they're gonna get that text message. So when you get an on-the-way text, send the guy a text message immediately. Hey, whenever you get here, you're all good. If you don't, he's gonna send you another text when he gets there saying, hey, I'm here, am I safe? If you don't respond to that text message within 5 to 7 minutes, they're gone, right? Our skip procedure is to knock on the door, ring the doorbell if the gate's locked. But if you have an aggressive dog, we're not going to knock on your door, ring your doorbell. I've done it. Dogs have come out the front door. I had 2 pit bulls trying to attack me in a front yard. There's nowhere to put your back up to. There's no safety. I had to fight 2 dogs with my rake and bucket while she's running around trying to grab them. And I still to this day, it's God, I did not get bit. All thanks to him, because I still don't know how I got out of it. I was eventually able to jump into the back of my truck, into the bed of it, to get away from them. But we don't knock on doors or ring doorbells if there's an aggressive dog. We will send you an on-the-way text, and then we will text you when we get there. I don't care if the dog is outside. I don't care if you're not home. I have to know that I am safe to go to that backyard and somebody inside the home knows that I'm there. Or that nobody's home and the dog is locked inside. If we don't receive that back, we're gone. We're not coming back, we're not waiting. You are charged for that visit, and that's it, right? Because it comes down to it, if you have a truly aggressive dog that is going to kill or severely hurt my technician, it's either we're going through that scenario or we don't want you as a client, right? It's not worth getting bit or getting attacked or being killed over a client. So we do make it another hoop for them to go through. But at the same time, if you don't want to go through that, don't have an aggressive dog, or don't hire people to do work in your backyard if it is unsafe for them. That's how I see it. Let's go to the next one, shall we? A little more light and funny. This has happened to us as well. You go into the backyard and there is a naked, I say naked, my wife makes fun of me. There is a naked person in the backyard sunbathing. You could treat this like a dog as well, right? If they don't see you, backpedal out of the yard. Why would you want to say, hey, sorry, I'm here, and then embarrass the crap out of them and see something that you may or may not want to see, but they may not want you to see it as well, right? So some people do that. Don't do that, right? Don't make yourself known when they don't even know you're there. And don't stay back there. Backpedal out as quietly as you can. When you get out, shut the gate hard. Boom! They're like, oh crap, the lawn guy's here, the pole guy's here, the poop guy's here, and hopefully they're gonna run inside, right? You wanna time this right. You slam the gate, you don't say nothing, right? And now what are you doing? You're gonna wait 30, 60 seconds because hopefully he or she has jumped up, they've grabbed their towel, they ran inside, their heart's pounding, who the crap is at my house, right? You don't wanna go back there and find out again a second time, do you? No. So I wait a few seconds, let this whole scenario play out, they're gonna run inside, and now I'm gonna go to the door. I'm gonna knock on the door, ring the doorbell, and I'm not even acting like I saw them. I'm just like, hey, I wasn't sure if you had an aggressive dog or not, so I just wanna make sure it was safe to go back. I almost went back there, but then I was like, wait, I don't know if your dog's aggressive. And then you kind of, you help them, and they're like, well, thank God he didn't see me. And they're like, oh, no, dog's safe, you're good to go back. I just got out of the shower, whatever. You go back and do your thing. If they do see you, right, they're, like an aggressive dog, you make eye contact, you do this. I am so sorry. I sent a text that I was on my way. I didn't know that you were back here. I'm so sorry. And you start leaving, right? Hopefully they're talking, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll go inside, blah, blah, blah. If they don't want to go inside and let you do it anyways, that's all on you. You can decide what you want to do. I might do it, stare down the whole time, make for sure that I don't look at them. But if you have a female scooper and it's a guy, I was like, oh, let's just go back to if you got a scooper at all. If you're hiring people, they're not doing the yard, right? Me personally, I might just do it, run around, I'm this guy, whatever, do my thing, and I didn't see nothing. But yeah, thinking about this out loud, if you got a scooper, they're leaving. Because if it's a female and you got a male scooper, there might be things said that you don't want said, accusations, all those kind of things. If it's a male and you got a female scooper, same thing. She could say things that he did things that he didn't do. He could say that she tried to do things that she didn't try to do. Leave the yard. If you got scoopers, get the frick out of the yard. I've never scooped one with someone back there, but I just feel like if I absolutely had to, because it was just so awkward, and they're like, oh, just do your thing. We're good. I'm just sunbathing. I might just kind of do like this thing, and they're never even going to see my face. But if you have employees, your policy is you get the frick out of that yard, and you call me and let me know. Hey, this person's back here. They said I can do it anyways. What am I going to do? No. You're not doing it. Leave. Skip. I'm sorry. That's an aggressive dog. But we've seen it. Let's see, what is something else? I'm trying to not make this too long. I've kind of gone on with the dog thing, but I felt like for safety reasons, I needed to make that a little bit longer. Another thing, I guess the easier of the things you might see in your backyard would be like wildlife. You might see possums. You don't know if they're playing dead or they're not, so we don't pick them up. We just kind of go around them. I'll kind of even be like, don't get me, buddy. Don't jump up if you're playing dead. I'm friendly. Another thing you might see is snakes. We've been getting a lot of pictures from our technicians lately of snakes. We don't want them trying to be the snake wrangler and picking them up or trying to figure out if they're venomous or not. Just pretend like they're all venomous. Stay away from them, right? Just scoop around it. If you can scare it off somehow, make it slide away, you can get whatever was there. If it's around some poop and it's curled up and it looks like it's aggressive, I would take a picture of it and send it to the client. Like, hey, if you notice these two piles were missed, it's because there was a snake there while I was here. So that can happen, but even still, just, we're not picking it up by hand. You're not having to worry about, bending over and bite you on your hand. If they have long grass in the summer times, a lot of times we'll skip their yard because of it. And one of those is because there could be snakes in the grass and we don't want to get our legs bit trying to pick up dog poop, right? It's not worth it. What else could you run into? Oh, one really big right now is hornet's nest. Training your employees. One thing I do is we let them know around summertime when you're walking up to a gate or you get anywhere close to the house, you're watching the eaves and the windows around the house. Underneath the window ledge or up on top of it, bees will hide there. They'll build their nest. I've been bit right here on the temple. I've been bit on my lip from getting too close to the house. So be very aware of eaves. If you have to scoop some poop that's near it, I will just get it in. But the one that you can't see that's very dangerous, I've had a technician get stung 8 times by one nest. Bees will sometimes build their nest either inside the gate on the wood, on the 2x4, or on the fence next to the gate, maybe even around the whole yard. But for us, it's happened around the gate, right? You go in, you're good, nothing happens. You close that gate. As soon as that gate slams, dude, it's over. They swarm you. He got 8 times on one arm. Luckily, he was a boss, man, and he kept going. I don't know if he took a Benadryl or not, but he finished out the day. Right, I was scooping at the time with him. I couldn't cover his route. He got it done. But those are what you want to tell yourself if you're scooping solo or your technicians. Watch eaves, watch the windows, but really pay attention to your gate. When you open the gate, inspect those 2x4s. Check left and right 2x4s before you slam that gate, because as soon as that gate slams, they're coming out and they're pissed off, and it does not feel good at all. So the main thing with dogs, snakes, and bees is you want to stay alert, right? Don't turn your brain off and just get accustomed to going in and out of the yard because it's routine. It could be different every time you go back there. There wasn't bees there last week. There could be bees there this week because they can grow up a nest overnight. A few other not so dangerous or embarrassing things you might run into would be broken gates or obstructions. We just kind of handle those on a case-by-case basis. If the gate's broken or falling apart, definitely send a picture of that to the office. If you're a solo scooper using Swoop and Go, still send it to your office, right? Anything you send to the office, it's going to be on dispatch board, and it's going to be saved within the client's account under latest services. So I would document it, but I would definitely also send it at least a note to the client. Say, hey, I want to let you know your gate's doing this or that, whatever it is. Just give them a heads up. Even if you might be watching this and saying, what's the point? They're not going to fix it. The point is, you want a paper trail. You want proof showing that it's been that way since you started coming there, because when that gate gets broken or it falls apart or the dogs get out, you're getting blamed for it. One of the things that our guys carry are they're little bungee cords. It's like a little loop with a ball on it. They'll carry those. We'll use those to secure a gate if it does happen to fall apart, or once we open it, we can't get it closed back because maybe it rained and the ground has shifted and it's so tight that you can't close that gate. We'll put a bungee on the bottom and a bungee on the top to help secure it. We'll send a picture to the gate. We'll send a picture to the client and the office, just to make sure that all of our bases are covered. So just to recap real quick on all of that, one thing that we do in our company policies and our training, we teach our team to never enter if they don't feel safe. Always announce loudly before entering the yard. Document everything. Taking photos of the yard, of the animals, of the snakes, of the hornet nest, of the broken gate. Even if you're using Swoop and Go and you say, I can only take 2 photos, they can take photos on their phone and text it all day, right? They can send it to the office number, send a text message, you're fine. Send it in an email. As long as you have it somewhere, that's all you need. We also train them on knowing when to skip a yard, when not to skip a yard. If grass is very tall, I'm talking 2 feet tall, we'll skip it. If the grass is a little bit too tall, maybe 8-12 inches, where you can't do a very good job, we've had somebody do this before, so we had to get better at training them. We don't skip yards for that. We do the best we can, and then we send a photo to the office showing that the grass is tall. That way when the customer calls to complain that you missed a pile, one thing you can ask them, I've had this happen before too, where, did you mow your yard recently? Because it was tall. And they say, yeah, we just mowed it, or the lawn guys just came. Well, that's why you're seeing the pile, because when we came, it wasn't mowed and we weren't able to see it. But you could also just, use that, even if they didn't mow their yard and they're seeing it, just tell them, because they'll say, well, I can see it, your texture is hot. Well, when my technician was there was 30 to 40 piles in your yard. So he did see 39 other piles in that tall grass, but he missed that one. But it was because of, there was other piles around there that he was seeing and getting. That one just was out of his sight because of the grass and the other piles, right? So you want to have those pictures to document it. So the best way to really balance a great customer service without putting your employees at risk is to train them on all of these scenarios, even makeup scenarios in your mind if you have to. Use my situations. If you never had it happen to you, use my stories to train yourself or your technicians on how to handle that. Because if it's handled the wrong way, it looks like bad customer service, right? If you just leave and they're like, well, why'd you leave? That could look like bad customer service. If the gate's locked, we send a photo of the gate being locked to the office, because we have had clients that get home and unlock their gate, and then they'll say, my gate's been unlocked all day. He shouldn't have skipped my yard, and we didn't have a photo. So another thing is take photos of the lock. If there's an aggressive dog outside and you can't go into the yard, take a photo over the gate. And don't send it to the client. They don't need to see it. You don't need to make them aware of it like you're trying to show them why. Just send it to the office, right? You're probably not gonna have to use it because most people are honest. But for the ones that aren't, you'll have the photo there. And then the cool thing is, if you don't send it to them, and this might sound kind of bad, but it works, you can find out which clients are honest and which ones aren't. Because the ones that come at you and they're like, it wasn't unlocked. Look, my gate's unlocked. Now you got your little photo and be like, ma'am, when we were there at 2:32 today, this is the photo that my technician or myself took. Your gate was locked. And then they'll apologize to you and they'll never call you and complain again because you got one up on them. So to kind of recap on how to avoid some of these things, we tell clients that dogs must be put up on their service day. The gates must be unlocked on their service day, right? Not when you get the on the way text. Unlock it the morning of. Because you've had clients that'll be like, or we've had clients that'll be like, oh, I just went to the grocery store and the guy showed up. Well, that doesn't matter, right? You're not supposed to unlock it when we're on our way, right? I don't understand it, but for the most part, people aren't going to be breaking into your backyard in the middle of the day in the 20 minutes that you unlock it. But we just tell them, unlock it the day of service. Don't lock it back. Even if you leave, don't lock it until after you get the completed text that we've been there. The other thing is setting expectations with clients that we need to know of any dangers that they may see, right? If they notice that hornets are building a nest and they haven't sprayed it or knocked it down or anything, we need them to let us know. When you get the on the way text from the technician, send them a text and say, hey, just want to let you know there is a hornet's nest right at my back gate, right by the back door, wherever it is, just let them know. We don't let them know this, but it'd be funny kind of let them know, hey, if you're gonna have any naked sunbathers or anybody in your hot tub, give us a heads up. It's just little things that you can do when you're signing up a client. Just setting those expectations and clarifying things early so that those things, likely won't happen. So remember, some encounters will require you to skip the service, and that's okay. Don't risk your safety just to avoid a upset client, right? Safety is number one priority. If you're a technician, call your office, figure out what they want you to do. If you're a solo scooper, call the client, figure out what they want you to do. If they don't care about your safety, it happens more often than not that the aggressive dog is outside, or you got a person that's sunbathing naked and it happens to be every time you show up, they're probably doing it on purpose. And if you have a gate that's falling apart, you let them know about it. Dogs are potentially getting out because of it. Those are reasons why you might want to part ways with that client, because it's not going to end well for you. So those are, there's some funny things we talked about, but in all seriousness, there are times in any of those situations where you might have to, what we call firing a client. Just let them know that it's not a good fit for you. You don't appreciate them being outside in their birthday suit every time you show up. You can't take the risk of the gate falling apart after you left and their dog's getting out. Even if they don't blame you for it, if those dogs get out and get hit by a car, it's going to be on your conscience whether it was your fault or not. So just things like that. You might just want to use your own judgment and potentially part ways if things don't get better for you. If they don't fix them, or they just don't care, we're out. So I've been doing this a few years. So I'll tell you that every company and every technician has their stories. Some of them probably match mine. Some of them might be a little crazier than mine. I can guarantee you I know a few that are crazier than mine that I could get into on another video. But I will tell you that being a professional, watching these videos, learning your street smarts from this happening to you, will teach you how to handle the weird stuff without panicking or being too dramatic or causing injury to yourself or the dog. So if you're running a poop scoop business, definitely make this a part of your training. If you're a client, now you know what goes into making sure your service is done safely. So please smash the like button if you've ever run into something unexpected in a client's yard, and drop your wildest stories in the comments. I might read it in my next video. And if you want more behind the scenes from a 7-figure scoop company, hit the subscribe button and we'll see you in the next video.